If you don't know which watch to buy next or you don't want to miss out the possibly next big thing, this video is for you. Hello, welcome to Swiss Watch King. Ever since I started this channel, my personal mission has been to shine light on watch brands and watchmakers which don't get as much attention as the big players in the market. There are plenty of channels on YouTube which do a great job talking about the mainstream brands and comparing Rolexes to Omegas all day long. That's not my point or wish of this channel. In today's video I will show you 3 watchmakers in hopes to open up your horizon and to show you the sheer imagination some watchmakers have. They're all from different countries, backgrounds as well as price points. Some are more affordable than others and some of them are even sold out. But thanks to them being sold out, they will probably have enough fuel to create more watches in the future for us to purchase. Let's start with a young French watchmaker who showed great potential early in his life. At the young age of only 12 years old, Vincent Deprez got enamored with watches. At 15, he started the apprenticeship at one of the leading Swiss watch brands, Constantin, working on restoration, regulation, assembly as well as on the ultra-thin watches they create. 10 years later, he left Constantin for Patek Philippe to hone his skills, and afterwards he finally decided to jump into the unknown by starting his own atelier in 2017. The goal was simple, but the journey was not an easy one. To make his own watch, and not just a simple timepiece, actually a tourbillon. By working as much with his hands as possible in the traditional way of a watchmaker. By using traditional watchmaking machines, he set out to create the tourbillon subscription model. The model reminds me of the watches from the likes of Rémy Coul's and Theo Frey. Their tourbillon pieces also features an open dial, where the construction of the movement was more in focus, as well as the different finishing techniques. I spoke to Vincent a few months before, and we will have him on the channel eventually, all in due time. He's currently busy, of course, doing the watches. I think Vincent did many things right here, from the case size, the design, as well as the pricing of this subscription piece. For those who don't know, usually when a watchmaker starts his company, he creates a subscription watch, which is often about 50% more affordable than the actual production piece later on. These are usually limited, like in this case, to only 10 pieces, 20 movements in total, and they help the watchmaker to fund his start of the journey. The front and the back of the watch are very different actually. The front is more traditional looking, whereas the case back reminds me of more modern watches. The overall finishing is really well executed. The time is displayed on an enamel dial, which Vincent makes himself, and features polished hands and mirror polish screws attached on the main plate. The centerpiece of course is the 60-second tourbillon, which is suspended by a very well polished and long bridge, hovering above the frosted main plate. The tourbillon cage also acts as the running seconds indicator, since there is a second track around it, slightly sunken into the main plate. What I also love is the exposed crown winding mechanism at 3 o'clock. Seeing all the components which are hand finished and move once engaged, it is really something special, and as a watch geek I always appreciate that. The case spec features different types of decorations, from frosted bridges, blued screws, mirror polish screws, meticulous englage and many more. The low height of the stainless steel case of only 11.3mm is achieved by Vincent integrating the case spec into the case at only 39mm in diameter. So as you see on the case spec photo here, you can see that it's evenly distributed. The price for the subscription model was 89,500 Swiss francs, excluding taxes, and from what I saw it's already sold out. But as this is his first watch, I can't wait to see what will come up next. The next watchmaker I wanted to show you guys is Logan Kuan Rao from China, another young and promising watchmaker fueled with passion, interesting designs and a mind like no other. The watches he creates are almost entirely made by hand, hence the often rough look of them, which I'm super into. Raw looking components like this remind me that watches are made by humans, by hand, and that's what differentiates us from machines, the imperfect human touch and soul. Logan has his own workshop in Guangzhou, China, and he uses his engineer mind to source machines from different industries across China. He tweaks and refines them into a usable tool for creating his watch components. He doesn't have a watchmaking background, but he went to college in London, where he studied material science as well as product design. George Dennis' book about how to create a watch was a great help for Logan, and it is from there that his creative and self-taught approach to watchmaking comes from. He has created 2 watches so far, the Orca as well as the Iceberg. Both are very different from each other, especially the movements. When I first saw the Orca online a few years back, I was immediately intrigued and it brought a smile to my face. The simple idea executed in a high-end watch was something I've never seen before. There wasn't much information about Logan or the Orca, but thanks to Instagram, more and more information comes to life. And thanks to also watch blogs like Monochrome and SJX, which I personally love, learning about new independents became also easier over the years. The Orca features a simple dial with two hands and slightly sunken hour markers, which are then filled with lacquer. The movement is the star of the show here. An Orca seemingly jumping above the main plate, surrounded by the ocean, portrayed by the Geneva stripes as waves, and the perlage decoration below, playing the role of splashes from the jump of the Orca. The Orca is frosted with hand-finished beveling, hovering slightly above the Geneva striped bridge, which you can see from the side here. It was a limited edition of only 9 pieces, all sold out and priced at $19,000. The whole process took Logan 3 years to make the prototype and another 5 years to the first completed watch to the customer. Along this journey he learned many skills which allowed to venture into his second watch, the Iceberg, a watch where only the mainspring jewels and shock absorbers are being purchased from outside. Every other component you see is made by hand in his workshop. The raw nature of this model really speaks to me. Again, the dial is more on the conservative side with the blued hour minute hands and a small seconds hand at 9 o'clock. The mechanical wonderland and Logan's mind is revealed on the case back. A raw looking movement, simple to understand at first glance, yet very complex in execution and precision once you get into it. The main plate has a Geneva stripes decoration, and above it there are 3 big blocks of ice, aka the 3 big bridges. Sometimes my emotions and liking of a watch are hard to explain. This is one of those moments. I just love the simplicity of this movement, and I wouldn't even want them to be finished in any different way. This to me shows the true handmade nature of Logan's work. But don't be fooled guys, the escapement is special. It's a patented equal push escapement. It is all inspired by the coaxial escapement created by George Daniels. Logan built upon that and introduced a joint lever to the escapement, which then created a more even distribution of impulse force. After a few prototypes, the results superseded his expectations and he filed for a patent. I spoke to Logan before and we will have him on the show one day. He lives in China but also frequently travels to Europe, so I hope this day will come soon. The price for the Iceberg watch was about $34,000 when I inquired about it last October of 2023. I'm not sure how the availability looks like, but I will put all links in my description as usual and you can do some digging and hunting yourselves. Good luck guys. Let's travel to the UK now to meet Garrick, not a watchmaker but a watch brand based in Norfolk. At about 50 watches per year you can expect a lot of handwork in their watches as well. Another brand which I appreciate due to their designs being very special. I see a lot of watches every year, in person and in pictures, so it's refreshing to see something that stands out. With Garrick they got my attention once I saw the Portsmouth Mark II model. There is something about the exposed balance wheel on the dial that gets me every time. That's why I love the legacy machines by MB&F for example. Having a balance wheel on the dial kinda reminds me of owning a tourbillon watch, but at a much lower price point, usually for almost the same satisfaction. The company was founded by David Brailsford and Simon Michelmeier, whose goal is to make more and more components in-house and just delivering overall as much as possible on the hand craftsmanship aspect of watchmaking. If an ever-beating balance wheel on the dial isn't your thing, another watch I would suggest to you is the S6 or the S7 collection. All of them feature multiple dial options, gear-shaped patterns and different colors. The movements are nice as well, hand-wound and feature different decorations. I think you can also customize them and choose whatever you prefer. That's the nice thing about a boutique watch brand. What's cool to note is that Garrick uses an exclusive Glitsudur balance, tested and regulated to ensure a daily variance of plus seconds. If you're a geek like me and you want to see as much of the movement as possible, go for the S3 Mark II. The dial looks well thought through, well designed and balanced. You can see the exposed gears, winding mechanism, weighted balance wheel, mirror polish screws, polished jewel sinks, and much more. Although the dial is open worked, it's very easy to read. The hour and minute hands are central, the running seconds at 10 o'clock, and the power reserve indicator is at 2 o'clock. The balance wheel looks actually quite big and they have so far 2 iterations available. This very clean Anthrazite one, as well as of course a fan favorite, the salmon version. At a yearly production of about 5 pieces, the price is 27,495 British pounds, excluding VAT, or approximately 35,500 US dollars. In today's market, I think that the price is justified. There's a lot of work done by hand on this model, also on the case spec side, and the balanced design is really good looking. I can't wait to see this piece in person. Guys, let me know which model from Garrick would you choose for yourself. I'm really curious. Let me know in the comment section below which watchmaker or brand I should invite to my studio here in Zurich. and I will do my best to make it happen. We have a lot of watchmaker videos planned for this year and also collector videos, so I'm really excited to share those with you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.